Mr. President, earlier this year, the Trump administration began a calculated show of political theater and force designed to spread fear and terror in Chicago and surrounding Illinois communities. Masked federal agents pepper sprayed, punched, body slammed, and even shot individuals, including U.S. citizens, during violent immigration enforcement actions. Virtually all of what I've just said was captured on video. They deployed tear gas canisters against clergy, broke into apartments, zip-tied children. When they were required by the federal courts to disclose how many people had been detained, they came up with 600 names. 16 of the 600 had any criminal record whatsoever. 16 out of 600. President Trump has not gone after the worst of the worst as he promised. Instead, he's brought some of the worst, most unprofessional, and most poorly trained federal law enforcement officers and agents into our city. Because of his so-called Operation Midway Blitz, children are afraid to go to school. Businesses are closing, and families are being torn apart. Yet the Trump administration shows no regret. They're reveling in the fear and chaos they are creating. Look at the Border Patrol official Gregory Bovino. On Tuesday, he returned to Chicago after leaving last month, bringing his campaign of fear to North Carolina and New Orleans. As soon as he arrived back in Chicago, Mr. Bovino went to the picket line of Local 705 of the Teamsters at Mauser Packaging Solutions. These workers are on strike for better benefits, safer working conditions, and measures to prevent ICE from entering their workplace without a federal judicial warrant. Bovino brought federal agents to this picket line to intimidate and interrogate these workers. He laughed in their faces as they demanded better working conditions. In court testimony, Mr. Bovino has praised federal agents' use of excessive force as exemplary, even after multiple U.S. citizens were hospitalized following their encounters with his federal agents. When addressing federal agents prior to a confrontation with peaceful protesters, Mr. Bovino stated, and I quote, "If someone strays into a pepper ball, then that's on them." Bovino has tear-gassed peaceful crowds, encouraged his agents to fire pepper balls at protesters, and threatened to go, quote, "even harder on the streets" when federal judges dared to order him to follow the law. But Mr. Bovino is not alone in his cruelty. Many Trump administration officials have been posting and gloating about their clear violations of constitutional rights. While President Trump has given them carte blanche to violate the law, there is a reality ahead. One day, President Trump will not be in the White House. When he goes, those who ordered these lawful activities finally may be held accountable and prosecuted. Section 242 of Title 18 of the U.S. Code makes it a crime for a federal law enforcement official acting under color of law to violate the constitutional rights of any person. I have no expectation that President Trump's Justice Department will investigate these violations currently taking place in Chicago. But the statute of limitations for these provisions is 5 years. The next administration will be well within its rights to hold accountable anyone who violated an individual's constitutional rights or directed others to do so during this Trump administration. While the Supreme Court's outrageous decision in Trump versus the United States may have personally immunized President Trump from prosecution, it provided no such protection for these agents. The Trump administration officials responsible for the use of excessive force or unlawful detention may face criminal consequences for their role in Midway Blitz. That is why today my colleague Senator Duckworth and I have submitted a criminal referral to the Justice Department regarding the unlawful actions of senior Trump administration officials and federal immigration agents in Operation Midway Blitz. To take one example, a Border Patrol agent shot a Chicago woman multiple times. Body camera video reportedly shows the agent threatening the woman, saying, "Do something," and then I'll delete the next term he used, prior to shooting her. Afterwards, the agent bragged in text messages to other agents about shooting the woman, writing, quote, 5 shots, 7 holes. As ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I've directed my staff to continue gathering evidence of potential violations of Section 242, and we will provide this evidence to the Justice Department in due course. In addition, Illinois elected officials are hard at work documenting crimes committed by these federal agents. The mayor of Evanston has opened an investigation after federal agents pinned down a man and struck him in the head. The village of Broadview is conducting criminal investigations related to ICE's use of tear gas and rubber bullets against first responders and peaceful protesters. Tomorrow, the Illinois Accountability Commission will hold its first public hearing, which will examine the widespread use of chemical agents during Midway Blitz. There will come a time when the people responsible for these assaults, tear gassing, and unjust detention during this lawful immigration action will face real accountability. These officials swore an oath when they began their service to preserve and protect the Constitution. But in their role as federal law enforcement officials, there is ample evidence they violated the very rights they promised to defend. Today, I'm putting those participating in Operation Midway Blitz on notice. You can continue to terrorize people. You can ignore the rulings of our courts, our laws, and our Constitution. You can hide behind your masks. You can ignore due process requirements of the Constitution. The day will come when justice will be served. The day will come when you'll be held accountable. The day will come when this pitiful display of meanness and intolerance will become one of the saddest chapters of our nation's history, and you will be held accountable.